It'll be 1 to go this time by. Coming to the green, buddy, coming to the green. Let's go get him. Go, 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 go!
Get your motor running. Head out on the highway.
Okay, more questions? We'll go to more. Come on. Go ahead.
Andrew Smith, Greenfield reporter, and this question for both of you. At what point in the race did you have to go from tire conservation mode into, hey, I've got to put the foot on the gas and go for it?
Mine started about lap 35 to go when we decided to go ahead and take 2 tires. We took 4 all day long. We never played track position. I think we just were conservative. We wanted to get our car as good as we could, chassis-wise, for the last couple runs. And we saw some guys during the race go 3 cycles on the lefts, and that was our 3rd cycle at the end of the race, and it just wasn't as good. First 2 cycles, of course, were great, but
that was your 3rd cycle on the lefts at the end?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't go hard till the very end. Bob timed it out real well to where we took 2 for the last run. I just went like hell, but that was the first time.
Denny, did you have an issue on your last pit stop? I apologize, I didn't see what had happened. So.
We had a lot of little things, I think. You don't want to get busted for speeding, and I felt like I was maybe a little bit conservative on my tack as far as that's concerned. But I was leading the pack, so you would think that these guys could make up a little bit of time probably when they passed me. I don't think our stop was stellar by any means, and I think we had to stop. I think we had to wait right at the end because the 41 was coming in. We had to wait a little bit then, and then if those guys were running faster pit road speed, when I was running to them, they just had to accelerate and go. So I think there are a lot of little things. Then he cut me off.
I slid out right in front of
you.
Hey, man, it's pretty good.
Whatever.
Thanks for not crashing me.
Question.
Bob Priddy from the Missouri Network in Jefferson City. Carl, I watched the race from down the short chute between 3 and 4. It looked to me like every time you had a pit stop, you came out with more cars in front of you than when you went in. Number one, was I incorrect when I saw that? Number two, could you have won the race if you'd gotten out first?
No, what we were doing there is we were always taking 4 tires, and a lot of people were ratcheting up taking 2 tires. So that's why we lost position. Our pit crew was awesome on pit road, and that last stop was as good as anyone, But yeah, I was just a tactic, to always take 4 just to be safe. I think if we had been in front of Jimmy, we could have won, and Denny probably would have won, and it was just we were all kind of about the same speed there. But he had the first pit stall because of his qualifying, which you qualify on the pole, you get that.
Jill Irwin, Richmond Times-Dispatch. Denny, on the final restart, Carl said that he was more concerned about you kind of hanging back behind him. What happened on that last restart? What were you kind of trying to accomplish, and did you think you had a run on those front 2 guys?
Not really. It seemed like my car was really loose for the first lap after a restart, so I wasn't really going to pressure him that much. I was just going to worry about the 19. And then I was going to see if those guys were going to race each other hard. If they were going to race hard, maybe the last lap they would blister their tires or something. That was going to be my only shot, really, because if I didn't get out first, it was going to be tough to get around. Because, with 30 to go, Jimmy had 4 tires and lined up right behind me when I took 2, and we pulled away from him. So, track position meant a lot, and when you ran your car harder at the end of the race, it did things that it ain't done all day because you ain't been running 2 seconds faster all day. So, we just I was more concerned with holding off the 19 than going forward.
Bob.
For both you guys, Bob Kravitz with the Indianapolis Star. 2005, we had the fiasco with the Formula One. Most of the guys didn't want to race because they felt like it was going to be unsafe. Did you ever have the feeling before this race or during this race that this is kind of a dangerous thing and maybe we shouldn't be out here? And also, just to follow it up real quick, what would you say to the fans who didn't exactly see what they were hoping to see?
Go get them, Tiger.
All right. I know during practice I was making sure my belts were tight, and I was eyeing where they had the safer barriers, because I just didn't know. Like Denny said, in the race you could kind of feel a tire going away. You could tell when it was going away. So once the race got going, I felt pretty comfortable. Like I'm not going to get the big surprise and blow the tire and hit the wall. But in practice, I definitely was worried about it. And to the fans, they just have to understand it's a dynamic sport. There's a lot lot to it, and to bring 43 cars here and race them, at 200 miles an hour, Goodyear did their best, and somebody just made a mistake in judgment. So hopefully they understand that and realize that nobody wanted this to happen.
Right here, go ahead.
Denny, Mike Rothstein, Journal-Gazette. Do you feel that you had maybe the best car through the second half of this race, and that that the tire issue maybe cost you the win?
I felt like we had a really good car all day, but I just was so patient. I was as patient as I probably ever was in any other race because I knew how hard I had to push it. But it was. I felt like we did have a good car. I mean, Jimmy, it's hard to argue that he was the second place car at the end of the race. I mean, he was really good. He was really good for the whole race. But it just seemed like when we had track position, we were really good. When he had it, he was really good. So it's tough to say who had the best car, especially when you don't know how hard the drivers are pushing. I mean, it's just a situation where, when I wanted to run hard, I could look like I was 20 miles an hour faster than anyone else, but I was going to pay for it at the end. So, we just had to do the best we could.
Okay, we have right back here a question.
Robert Pemberton, for anyone that wants to talk to him.
That'll happen.
You should be up here answering these questions.
Dustin Long, Landmark Newspapers. Based off of this experience, where do you go forward from here? What needs to be learned and what needs to happen to try to prevent something like this happening in the future? Where do things go?
I don't make the decision on how to build a tire, so I don't know. I guess they just have to look at this and learn from it, figure out exactly what went wrong. That's all you can do.
I think they said during the tire test that they had some other tires that did wear better, but the drivers didn't like them. They were too hard. So had we come here with a hard tire, then you'd have all the drivers complaining about tires too hard, you can't race. So I think it's just a tough balance. I think this track is extremely hard on right side tires anyway. This car is extremely hard on right side tires anyway. And, the track just didn't take rubber like it had in the past. So I'm to tell you the truth, I don't know what tire that they would be able to engineer to go a full fuel run here. 35 laps or so. It would take a tire probably so hard that, we literally probably spin out every lap. So I think they were just put in a tough box, to tell you the truth.
We're going to take two more. Go ahead back here.
Dominique Vigère, Le Journal de Montréal. Guys, I'm just wondering, everybody's talking about Goodyear, but this has happened here with another manufacturer in Formula One. Would it be time that the track does something to maybe be a little easier on the tires, like it happened at Charlotte, and like at the repaving at Talladega helped a lot as well?
Well, Charlotte was a big problem when they did that, when they repaved it.
They levigated it.
Levigate.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
That's when we blew all the tires. Is when they levigated.
Yeah, that was worse than this, I thought. But
I don't
know, man.
The way I see it, we're just renting space. This is Indy's deal.
Yeah.
All right, we can take one more. Do we have one more question for our second, third place finishers? One more. Last question from Dustin.
Denny, just what does this mean? What does this mean points-wise to have this kind of day and just kind of get off that 12th place area right around there?
It's good for that. When we saw the 17 issues, the 83 blew up, we knew we needed a top 10 day, and we knew that at the beginning of the day. So, this race only comes around once a year, and it is prestigious, so you hate to let a win slip away, but in the back of your mind, you got to be happy knowing you had a good points day. That's what we are.
Okay, guys, congratulations.
Thanks.
We're going to be joined